They're twisted in a way that would as to deprive Muslims of their will to struggle. Muslims always use a clear, comprehensive and that complies. The speech of Muslims their warmth and wisdom that is pleasant to the hearts of those who listen. Every word they utter is in agreement with the Qur'an and has a quality that soothes the soul. On the other hand, the word of the hypocrite contains a hidden evil, a subtle message that contradicts the Qur'an, a straining and a dark anxiety-provoking. Thus, it should be forgotten that hypocrites speak this way only in a manner that will have intention. Most of their time, hypocrites mention the name of God, the verses of the Qur'an, appearing giving a religion. However, it also includes arouse faith and can cause confusion, anxiety, or distress. To make it seem as if they are doing a good thing or giving advice, yet their actual intention is to cause sedition among the community. With brains, they or in their own ways, and try to give the impression that they are doing so for the betterment of Muslims. They claim that they are advised because they want the good of Muslims. However, their true intention is to raise doubts against the messenger and weaker faith, driving the Muslims, and thus to weaken the believers' resolve to struggle and devotion to the messenger. In the era of our Prophet, peace be upon him, when the believers were about to go to war against non-believers, the hypocrites said, "Do not go out to fight in the heat." God states the following verse in the Qur'an: "Those who were left behind were glad to stay behind the message of God. They did not want jihad with their wealth and themselves in the way of God. They said, 'Do not go out to fight in the heat.' Say, the fire of hell is much hotter, if only understood." And this informs us of aspects of the hypocrites. The hypocrites consider themselves wiser than peace be upon him. May God forbid and peace be upon feeble minds. Secondly, under no circumstance are they willing to live in the way of thirdly, not to appear being struggle, irrational and foolish excuses. The hypocrite that peace be upon him eats out, and on they try to withhold those with weaker faith from fighting. They both try to avoid God and weaken the strength. They claim most in the heat Prophet who is the most conscientious, passionate. The person that is the most fond of believers in the world does not appreciate them. Forbid the Moreover, they try to make themselves look like they hold the Muslims in high esteem, whereas the hypocrites care about the good of Muslims. No, they are only selfish about their own and come foolish in order to avoid a struggle of God. Regardless of how or cold the regardless of conditions, hypocrites come up against slander our Prophet, peace be upon him, with an unreasonable claim. Today, the abhorrent morals of the hypocrites manifest themselves in their anxiety-provoking speeches that aim to break the resolve of the believers and to lead them to lethargy. As for the believers, every speech is a blessing that increases their enthusiasm, their devotion, love and obedience to the Prophet, peace be upon him. And speech of the hypocrites are means for the believers to maintain their and to strengthen the resolve for struggle. Therefore, the hypocrites attempt to provoke anxiety, teams has the opposite effect. It enables believers with greater spiritual strength and renders their scientific endeavors in the way of God fruitful.